Good afternoon, everybody. DJ Styles here at Custom Corpses. Okay, I've been working on this face a little more. Um, it's interesting. It's the second time. Last week I had somebody over here, and they said to me, "Man, how do you get your face so menacing looking?" And then there was a comment on uh, on one of my videos, and it was a compliment saying that they love my mask because they always look it looks so menacing. And what's the secret? Well, one, I have a vision in my head of what I think Michael Myers looks like, and the other secret, it's not really a secret, but what makes Michael Myers so creepy? All right, and I'm going to say it's shadows. It's shadows, shadows, shadows. If the mask doesn't have the right shadowing, and I'm not talking about painted in shadows, I'm talking about natural features that have to be in the mask. There's nothing painted on there on this clay sculpture right now, and you're getting all the shadows, and that's when you're sculpting. You want to make sure you got the right lighting over top, casting down the way they did it in the movie, as far as how the light hit the mask. Now, once you intensify those shadowing with some paint and artwork, yes, you do. I have a still shot that I've been going off of to make my version of the flashback mask, and this is what I've been going from right here. And as you can see, you see how like the inside the eye sockets and everything, it is darker. It's painted darker, especially like right into the corners. They painted that. Now it's light hitting this side, so, but this is all painted in. It's there. It's painted, but the effect is is also there in the sculpture. The shadowing's there naturally, and it's just because the mask is a white mask. Excuse me. And yes, I'm getting over COVID. And because of the mask being white, they had to add some color, some shadowing, into the mask. But the real secret is, excuse me, making sure that you have the features naturally in the mask. You have to have that in there. A lot of people, they understand that, but doing it's a whole nother trick. Now, I have just done right at the ridge here, the little nose, I want to say the bridge of the nose where the scowl comes into the nose. There's a little bit of a ripple there on both sides, and I just did that. Now, to go, it's actually a difficult thing to bring in, but the trick is putting little crumbs of clay on top of the bridge area, blended into the top of your scowl, and then leave that little ridge right there. Just kind of just mash it down a little bit, and you'll have that ridge naturally. Let me zoom in a little more. Yeah, see? And yeah, I'm still, there's still a lot to be done here, but I've been sick all week, so I haven't really been able to do much. COVID's no joke, bro. COVID is no joke. And yeah, I'm sorry, there's somebody that came in. We've all had COVID, so everybody's sick here and all getting over it. So I was talking to somebody behind me. Sorry guys. Anyway, anyway, let's do this. I'm going to continue on I really think I'm really liking this sculpture. This is the NightCreeper version of the flashback mask. This is not an exact replica of this mask, and I'll tell you the differences. I wanted to keep my original jawline. I fixed the face where the jawline now doesn't stick out too far. I brought that back. The jawline is now, you know, pretty accurate to where it's going to be. It's just got to be smoothed out and stuff. The neckline I'm going to change just a little bit down on the bottom here. I'm going to bring this out just a little bit more, you know, this way. And you can't really see, but I have to change the angle of it just a slight bit. And the reason why is because on this mask, when I start producing this mask, I'm probably going to put Velcro on the back of it. So this way, when you're wearing this mask, you can tuck it into your jumpsuit that Michael wears, and you'll be able to hug your neck with the mask itself. So I'm going to change the neck just a little bit. It's not going to have the flare out. It's not going to be as flared. It's going to be more straight down. I'm going to do that all the way around this thing, making sure that there's no flare out. This way, when you go to put the mask on, you'll be able to tuck your neck into, you know, the collar. You know, that's the hardest part, is like, you know, Michael wears the collar up, and if you make that neck too flared out, it's really hard to get that neck tucked into the collar. So with that being said, guys, this is NightCreeper flashback. And I don't know. This could be the 78. I'm still not sure. I want to see when I'm done, when I feel like this sculpture is done, then I will make the final decision on whether I'm just going to go back to the original 78. Excuse me. The original 78 and 81. And the only difference will be paint job. Or I will consider this being the flashback. I like this sculpture so much. Now I've got the features in the right, you know, areas. I have everything's, man, what am I trying to say? Okay. I have all the shadowing naturally in the mask now. So, and that meant changing a lot of the features. I had to sink in the eye sockets on the base, on the bottom. They literally got sunk back. And then I took some more of the cheek back too, and, you know, both sides, and then tapered them back in. I was able, with doing that, I was able to widen the cheek, I guess, what do they call these? The cheek lines. I'll call them the cheek lines. I was able to widen them. They were steeper. They used to come straight down, a little bit more straighter. But I couldn't stand that look, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was. But once I sunk that cheek in and sunk the cheek line back and widened this outside here a little bit, it totally, like, oh, man, I didn't know this whole time. But see, like I said, I don't have any experience with doing faces. I never took anatomy or anything like that for, you know, sculpting on human faces. It wasn't until I started actually looking at anatomy on not even a Michael Myers thing. I was just looking at human anatomy, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. The eye socket areas, your brow area is always protruding further out than your undercuts in your eyes. So once I figured that out, then I was like, oh my God. You know, well, it's stupid things like that when you've never sculpted human faces or human, you know, I've never done this. I've always been a 5-tier relief carver, where I used to do sceneries like, you know, lakes and mountains and, you know, beautiful trees and, you know, Bob Ross material. And I would carve that into wood. I would sketch it, and then I would carve it into wood. I did a little whittling, but that was like eagles and ducks and, you know, stuff like that. I never did a lot of it. And I only did that for a couple of years, and that's going all the way back to like 1982 when I was doing that. And so, yeah, so I'm doing the eye cuts. I'm putting the light on now so you can see how this thing looks. So, I mean, I love it. Thank you guys for, you know, complimenting when you comment, and you shout out to the guy that commented, said he likes it. He likes the way my mask look, or my sculptures look so menacing. But that's the reason, I think. At first, I had the vision of what I think Michael Myers should be. And the other trick is really getting some good pictures with lots of angles, lots of, like, you know, you got to be able to see. I'm just going off the straight ahead view here. But, yeah, you have to have a lot more, you have to have a lot more pictures than this. Now, I've got a couple other still shots that are, like, gives you the side view of the mask, and, you know, so on and so forth. And what I'll do is I flip-flop back and forth from them depending on what I'm working on. And, you know, apparently they're not going to produce, nobody's going to make this mask. I don't think anybody's got the rights. Trick or Treat Studios can't make the flashback mask. They couldn't get the rights to it. Boy, I hope somebody does. I mean, because that's a really killer mask. It's got a gold mine sitting there. Now, partially the reason why I don't want to replicate it to a T. Now, all I would have to do to make mine look like that is literally widen the head a little bit up here, all right, and narrow the jawline a little bit more. You know, this is, well, it's actually like a reversed egg on this shape here. It's wider at the top and then narrower at the bottom. Mine, it's narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. It's reversed, but that's how the original 78 is. So I totally understand the difference between mine and that. And I don't want to replicate this to that extent. Some people will be like, well, why not? Why not? Well, you know what? I think the artist actually kept the rights to this. And since he did, he's probably going to at some point produce it himself. But, I mean, there's guys out there doing it, and I'm just like, you know, I don't know. I just like doing my versions of my Michael, you know, my version of Michael Myers. This is Custom Corpses NightCreeper series, and, you know, I think it really is menacing. It's going to give you the look, total look of this, you know, and then some. It's going to give you that really menacing look, maybe a little bit more menacing. This is like a combination of 78, 81, the Halloween 4 and 5 cover mask. The cover, you know, they use the, you gotta, you know, it's a combination of the cover mask that was on the poster art for the poster art on this. Boy, I'm just not with it. I'm lethargic, guys, so forgive me. The cover art that was done for Halloween 4 and 5. So mine has that look. It has 78, 81. I'm trying to put together something that really kind of does it all. So that's what's going on, guys. You know, I wanted to put a video out. I know it's Saturday. I still got quite a bit of time left. So anyway, All right, I'm just going to say peace. Love yous all. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Uh, share the contact, hit the notification bell, and anytime I'm on, you'll know when I'm on. And I'm going to start doing some more sculpting tricks, and I'll show you how I do that bridge work on that nose right here where the little puffed out. I figured out how to do that. That's another thing, and I'm going to make this quick. As I'm learning this, it's all about learning the little tricks, and you're going to learn those tricks on your own just like I am. Nobody's actually showing me how to sculpt these features. I'm kind of figuring it out as I go, and to bring it in, because you're not really seeing that. A lot of guys don't share their little sculpting secrets on how they create, how they create whatever they're doing. So I will share that. I'll show you guys content on how I do, the bridge work. Maybe I'll show you how I do the eye cuts, the lips, the noses, ears, and lips can be very difficult. I think that, they can be. For me, they don't feel too bad, but, I never work on one area. I never just focus on one area. I have to constantly work the whole thing, when I'm sculpting. And that's why it takes so long, to bring it in. And, I don't want to do 2-hour videos just so you can see a small change, because that's really what it is. You'd have to do high-speed video, but you really don't learn nothing with the high-speed video. So I'd rather do like little tutorials on how I create something on just a specific area, and it'll make it so you have a better understanding how to sculpt it. I have one on ears. There's one of my videos out there that I'm working on the ear, so you want to check that out. I have videos on doing this, but I think at that time it wasn't as accurate as I am now, because now I have a better understanding of how it's supposed to really look versus what the lack of knowledge, at that point. See, I had the image in my head, but I didn't have the knowledge, and the toolmanship to work with the tools, with the clay. That just takes time. You figure out how to do things and how to create this and how to, you just keep plugging away. And now my techniques have changed a little bit. I really am minimal to how many tools I actually use when I'm working on a sculpture. There's not a lot of tools involved. But that's because I've figured out what tools work best for me. But all right, I figured I'd share that with you guys, and you guys have a wonderful weekend, what's left of it. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm here in South Jersey, so I'm hoping my Eagles can pull off a huge upset. But if they don't, they don't. I'm not worried about it either. So, I guess I've got my Super Bowl win, as so they say. Finally, after a whole lifetime of never winning a Super Bowl, they finally did in 2018. So that was great. Great year. Anyway, guys, enough about football. Peace. I'll see you. Bye.